My friend, there comes a moment in every life when the weight of pain feels almost unbearable, when the tears have flowed too long and the quiet of unanswered prayers makes your heart wonder if God has turned away. But listen closely with faith, not fear. Your season of suffering is ending. The winds of divine change are stirring. God is unlocking a new door that no man can close. What you've endured was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to prepare you. What shattered you was not your ending, it was the beginning of a sacred transformation that has now reached its appointed time. God has seen every tear, heard every cry in the night, and the same God who allowed the storm now speaks to it and commands, "Peace, be still." You may not feel it yet, but the shift has already begun. Heaven is in motion. The doors that once slammed shut are turning their hinges. The chains that confined you are breaking loose. For too long you've walked through a valley of confusion and sorrow, but God is announcing a new season over your life. The dark clouds are dispersing and light is breaking through. You've completed your season of testing. Now begins your season of renewal. The very ground where you wept will soon overflow with joy. The same path that once felt barren will bloom with blessing. God wastes nothing, not a tear, not a trial. Every hardship was refining you, softening your heart, aligning your spirit with His higher plan. Suffering is never meaningless. It's the soil where strength takes root. God allows storms not to punish, but to purify. He removes what cannot stay so He can make room for what's meant to come. Many of you have cried, "Why me, Lord? Why this pain?" But the question was never why, it was what. What is God developing in you through this? What resilience, what character, what wisdom, what unshakable faith is being forged in the fire? Because some doors only open after you've been strengthened by struggle. Some blessings are too great for an untested soul. You've walked a long stretch through the wilderness of waiting. You've seen others rise while you felt left behind. You've watched dreams fade, prayers linger, and plans unravel. Yet I tell you with absolute certainty, God was never absent. He was watching, orchestrating, preparing the moment of your release. The delay was not His denial. The waiting was not wasted time. The silence was not rejection. God has been working behind the veil, aligning circumstances, repositioning people, arranging opportunities that could only manifest when your spirit was ready to carry them. When God opens a door, it is no ordinary door. It is a divine portal to destiny, sealed with His promise. And what He opens, no force can close. No betrayal, no failure, no mistake can block a door anointed for your future. You may have stepped through doors that led to heartbreak, disappointment, or loss, but this new door is unlike the rest. It's not built by human effort, it's opened by divine authority. And when you step through it, everything that once confused you about your suffering will suddenly make sense. You'll look back and see that every tear, every setback, and every closed door was guiding you to this very moment when God whispers, "Now it's time." But before God ushers in the new, He often allows the old to collapse. Some of you have watched relationships, careers, or dreams fall apart and assumed it was the end. But it wasn't the end, it was preparation. God can't fill hands that are still gripping yesterday. He can't breathe new life into hearts still bound to old pain. So in His mercy, He removes what cannot remain. It hurts, yes, but it's holy. It feels like loss, but it's divine clearing. God never takes without the purpose of giving something greater. The pain you endured was positioning you for promotion. The suffering you faced was fortifying your spirit. Those sleepless nights became wells of wisdom, and the loneliness you battled drove you deeper into His presence. You thought you were breaking, but you were being built. You were being refined for the threshold that's about to open. You may not see it yet, but you're about to step into a season where everything aligns. You'll finally understand why God said no, why He delayed, why He allowed certain people to leave. Because if you had stayed where you were, you would have missed what He prepared. Your pain was not wasted. Every scar is a testimony. Every struggle you endured proclaims that you survived what was meant to destroy you. You are not who you were when this began. You're wiser, stronger, more anchored in faith. And now God says it's time to rise from the ashes, to release fear, to stop grieving what's gone and start expecting what's next. The same God who led you through the valley is guiding you to the mountain. Don't let the shadow of past suffering blur the vision of your future promise. Some of you have been so accustomed to pain that you've forgotten the sound of joy. You've grown so used to disappointment that hope feels foreign. But God is saying, believe again, lift your eyes forward. The open door is ahead, not behind. Don't let yesterday's wounds rob you of tomorrow's wonder. The new door demands a renewed mindset. You cannot enter this next season carrying the same doubt that held you captive in the last. This is your time to rise in faith, to speak life, to trust even without seeing the outcome. Faith is the master key that opens this divine door. God doesn't move through fear or hesitation. He moves through trust. Even now, He's testing your heart. Will you trust Him after the heartbreak? Will you trust Him after the delay? Will you trust Him enough to walk forward believing His plans are good? Because when you do, the door will swing wide. When you stop trying to control the outcome and start believing in His promise, everything changes. God is seeking a faith that stands firm in the storm and still declares, I know my Redeemer lives. You are stepping into a divine transition. You are standing on the threshold of breakthrough. The season of weeping is closing. The night is fading and dawn is breaking. You've walked in the shadows long enough. Now it's time to walk in the radiance of God's promise. The door opening before you won't demand struggle or striving. It will open effortlessly in God's perfect timing by His own hand. What you once pursued will now begin to pursue you. Blessings that once felt distant are now flowing toward your life. But as that door opens, remember this sacred truth. Do not look back. Do not attempt to revive what God has already released. Do not return to what you once prayed to escape. The past cannot journey with you into your new season. God removed it for your protection. If you keep reaching behind you, you'll miss what's being set before you. The doorway God opens requires your full focus, full trust, and full surrender. Do not let nostalgia or fear of uncertainty paralyze your steps. When God says move, move. When He says go, go, because obedience is the gateway to elevation. Some of you feel like your wilderness will never end. You've grown weary from the wait, tired from the battle. But hear this truth. The darkest moments always come just before the dawn. When the pressure intensifies, breakthrough is near. The enemy always strikes hardest when heaven is about to move. That's why resistance has been fierce, why the fire burned hotter before the shift. But the door is about to open, and once it does, every hardship, every sleepless night, every unanswered question will make sense. You'll realize your suffering wasn't punishment, it was preparation. God never wastes seasons. He uses each one to draw you closer, to mold you deeper, to prepare your spirit for destiny. You have not been forgotten or forsaken. You are not stuck. You are being led by a divine hand that knows exactly where to place you. And soon, that same hand will turn the handle of a door that leads to peace, abundance, and purpose. This is not the end of your story. It's a divine page turning. The same God who split the sea will split your obstacles. The same God who turns sorrow into song will turn your pain into praise. But to walk through this new door, you must release what's heavy. Let go of bitterness. Forgive those who wounded you. Stop carrying resentment that blocks the flow of blessing. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's liberation. When you forgive, you release yourself from the chains of yesterday and make space for new joy. The new door cannot open to a heart still holding poison. God cannot pour fresh water into a vessel filled with anger. Cleanse your spirit. Lay down the pain. Hand it all to God and let His peace rush in like a flood. Some of you have suffered in silence, your pain unseen, your tears unnoticed by others, but not by heaven. You smiled while breaking inside, but God saw it all. He saw the private battles, the hidden fears, the quiet endurance. And now He's saying, I have not forgotten you. I have not overlooked you. I was with you through it all. Your silent suffering was seen by heaven, and now heaven is answering. You are about to witness the unfolding of promises you once only imagined. You are stepping into a realm of favor that defies logic, blessings so abundant they surpass understanding. Because when God restores, He doesn't just replace, He multiplies. Every delay was divine design. Every rejection was protection. Every closed door was redirection. What felt like a setback was really a setup. God was aligning every detail so that when He opens this door, you won't stumble, you'll soar. The pain refined your spirit. The losses grounded your heart. The waiting deepened your faith. Now you are prepared for what once would have overwhelmed you. The door God is unlocking will call for courage, trust, and unshakable faith. But remember this, you are not stepping into it alone. God walks before you, beside you, and within you. Every move you make is guided by His hand. Even when you feel unqualified or uncertain, rest assured God empowers those He appoints. He will never open a door you're not ready to enter. You may have endured betrayal, loss, or heartbreak, but those wounds are healing now. God is restoring your peace, renewing your strength, and rebuilding your confidence. He's giving you beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, and strength for weariness. The season of sorrow is over. The time to rise has come. God is calling you out of the wilderness of fear and doubt into a season of divine fulfillment. What you once prayed for, you will now walk in. What you once hoped for, you will soon hold. No longer will you live in survival mode or walk in scarcity. God is shifting you from lack to overflow, from pain to purpose, from waiting to winning. Yet as you enter this open door, stay humble. Remember the path that brought you here, the nights you wept, the mornings you chose faith over fear. The lessons learned in the valley will sustain you on the mountain. Some will question your sudden rise, others will doubt your favor. Ignore them. The door God opens for you doesn't require their approval. You owe no explanation for divine elevation. When heaven declares your time, no one on earth can delay it. You may have been overlooked once, but now you will be seen. You may have been dismissed before, but now you will be chosen. This is not luck, it is divine timing. Your season of suffering has expired. Your waiting has reached completion. You have endured, persevered, and passed the test. Now, your reward draws near. God is about to pour blessings that will chase you down. You won't have to strive, they will find you. You won't have to fight, they will flow freely, because when God opens a door, He floods it with abundance. So lift your head high, square your shoulders, and step boldly into your next chapter. The same power that carried you through hardship will sustain you through harvest. The same strength that preserved you in fire will protect you in favor. This is your divine moment, your turning point. The battle is finished, the door is open, and God has spoken. When heaven declares your time of suffering complete, No power in existence can prolong it. The chains that once confined you are shattering even as you read these words. The pain that haunted your nights is losing its hold, and the storm that once threatened to consume you is bowing to the command of the Almighty. You are stepping into a moment etched in eternity, a season divinely orchestrated by God Himself. For every sleepless night, peace is coming. For every tear shed, joy will overflow. For every loss endured, restoration is on its way. You have endured the testing long enough. Now God is honoring your endurance. The same fire that once burned, you will now illuminate your path ahead. The same pain that once weakened you will become the very testimony that uplifts others. There are times when God conceals His hand but never removes His presence. You thought He was silent, but He was strategizing. You assumed He was distant, but He was drawing you closer. Even in the valley's shadows, He was walking beside you. You couldn't see Him, but He was there in every sigh, every tear, every whispered prayer in the dark. And now He speaks not softly but with authority, declaring that your season of suffering has fulfilled its purpose. You are being repositioned for divine promotion. What once broke you is now building you. What was lost is returning in multiplied form. Never underestimate what God can accomplish in a single moment of obedience. One bold act of faith can unlock a lifetime of blessing. The issue has never been God's power, it's been our willingness to surrender. We cling too tightly to fear, to the past, to the illusion of control. But when you release it all and say, God, I trust you even when I can't trace you, heaven responds. Doors open, paths emerge. People appear at the right moment because when you walk in surrender, you align with the supernatural. God is not opening a common door, He's opening one that will transform generations. The blessings He's preparing won't just touch your life, but will echo through your lineage. You are breaking generational cycles of fear, of lack, of pain. What defeated those before you will not conquer you. God has placed within you a spirit of endurance that cannot be crushed. You stand not by your own strength, but by His unfailing promise. Every trial was training. Every hardship was equipping you for influence, for impact, for destiny. You may wonder why your struggle lingered so long, why God seemed to wait, but understand this: the delay was your development. God never rushes what He's refining. He stretched you, molded you, and strengthened your heart until it could bear the weight of the blessing ahead. If the door had opened sooner, it would have broken you, but now, after the pain, the fire, and the tears, you are ready. You are stronger, wiser, humbler, and more anchored in God than ever before. And that is precisely where God needed you to be before lifting you higher. Your past is not the prophecy of your future, and what you endured does not dictate where you're headed. God is rewriting your story. The very pages once stained with sorrow will soon shimmer with His glory. You are not a casualty of circumstance. You are living proof of divine mercy. You may have lost moments, but God restores time. You may have been delayed, but He turns setbacks into comebacks. The years that seemed wasted will suddenly bloom with purpose. The ground that once looked barren will now produce abundance. You will harvest from soil nourished by your tears. For every painful season, there will be a harvest of joy. Some of you are standing now between two doors, the one that is closed and the one God is about to open, and in that gap, there is silence. You can sense the tension of transition. It's uneasy, uncertain, even unfamiliar, but it's sacred ground. It's the place where God does His deepest shaping in that in-between. He's teaching you to trust the unseen, to let go of what's familiar, and to step forward in faith. You may not grasp it yet, but you are being shifted from where you were to where you belong. The new door will require a new version of you. You cannot walk into it carrying the same fears, the same doubts, the same attachments that once weighed you down. God is calling you to shed the skin of anxiety and exhaustion, to rise with boldness, to step into destiny unburdened by yesterday's heaviness. You've been refined through adversity so that now you can walk in strength. The pain that once broke you has made you unshakable. You no longer crave validation or applause because you know God's hand rests upon your life. Don't fear what's ahead. What you call unknown, God calls already prepared. He has gone before you, straightening crooked paths and arranging divine encounters. You won't have to force this next chapter. It will unfold naturally. You won't have to chase blessings. What's meant for you will be drawn to you. God's favor isn't earned, it's trusted. He delights in blessing those who depend completely on Him. So walk forward with confidence, not because of who you are, but because of who your God is. And hear this: when God opens your new door, not everyone will understand. Some will question your rise. Others will wonder why favor follows you. Don't waste breath explaining. God's favor isn't a vote, it's a verdict. When He decrees elevation, no opposition can cancel it. Stay humble, stay grounded, stay focused. The door itself isn't the destination, it's the assignment. You are being given influence, not for ego, but for impact. Use what God entrusts to you to lift others, spread hope, and radiate His goodness. The truth is, your suffering was a divine filter. It revealed who was genuine and who was temporary, who loved you for convenience and who stood beside you through the fire. Be grateful for that revelation. It was part of your preparation. Not everyone who left your life was meant to remain. Some doors had to close so the new one could open without distraction or delay. God trimmed your circle because elevation demands separation. You cannot take everyone with you into your next chapter, and that's not loss, it's divine alignment. There is something profoundly sacred about endurance. God takes delight in those who refuse to give up. While others quit halfway, you kept pressing forward. You kept praying when you were weary. You kept believing when nothing made sense. You may have stumbled, but you never stopped. And that perseverance has reached heaven. God remembers the faith of those who stand their ground. He will not ignore your steadfast spirit. Every whispered prayer through pain has been recorded. Every seed sown in faith will eventually bear fruit. It may have taken time, but when God moves, He restores years in a single moment. Don't be shocked when everything shifts suddenly. When God changes a season, He does it swiftly. One moment of favor can erase years of hardship. One divine connection can recover everything that was lost. That's the magnitude of His timing. And when your door opens, it will swing wide with ease. You won't have to push or beg. What's meant for you will recognize you. The people, the opportunities, the blessings, they are being aligned by God's own hand. But as abundance flows in, guard your heart. Don't let success steal the humility that suffering taught you. Remember the nights when faith was all you had. Remember how God held you when you couldn't stand on your own. Gratitude will protect your blessing. Humility will preserve it. Pride closes what thankfulness keeps open. So live with remembrance and walk with a grateful spirit. This door isn't about personal gain, it's about divine purpose. God is positioning you to impact, to uplift, to heal, to inspire. The trials you survived were not wasted. They made you compassionate. You know pain, and because of that, you will bring comfort. You've tasted loneliness, and now you will reach those who feel unseen. Every scar has become a channel of wisdom. You're not just being blessed, you're being commissioned. And understand this, with every new door comes responsibility. Every blessing carries purpose. Every opportunity requires stewardship. Treat this new season with reverence. Guard your thoughts. Protect your peace. Stay rooted in prayer, because the higher God lifts you, the deeper you must remain anchored in Him. Don't let success make you self-sufficient. Depend on God even more. And if some of you still feel unworthy, thinking, why me after all my mistakes? Hear this truth. God isn't choosing you for your perfection. He's choosing you for your surrender. You're willing, available, and ready to trust Him. God uses broken vessels because their cracks allow His light to shine through. You are living proof of His mercy, not your own might. That's why the suffering was necessary. It broke you in all the right places so His glory could be revealed. This is not the end of your story. It's the unveiling of everything He promised. The waiting was your foundation. The pain was your preparation. And now your purpose is being revealed. Step through the door with reverence, for you are walking straight into destiny. Everything you thought was lost will suddenly make sense when you see what's waiting ahead. Every unanswered prayer will prove to have been protection. Every delay will be revealed as divine direction. You will thank God for what didn't work, because it guided you to what was meant to be. You are not being shifted by luck. You are being moved by divine orchestration. Every step you've taken has been intentional. Every transition has been sacred. You are emerging from the shadow of suffering into the dawn of fulfillment. The time for sorrow has ended. The hour of manifestation has come. The door stands open before you. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. Move forward with boldness, for God Himself awaits you on the other side. When He begins to move in your life, the very walls that confined your purpose will start to shake, and the chains that once held you will fall away one by one. You may not yet see it, but the sound of your breakthrough is already reverberating through heaven. God is announcing that the season of hardship, delay, and disappointment is coming to a divine conclusion. You've endured storms that should have crushed you, yet God sustained you, preparing you for something greater. Every tear you cried was seen. Every whispered prayer was heard. Every unseen sacrifice was counted by God. And now He is declaring, the waiting has ended. The night has finished its work. The dawn is breaking. Do not let the scars of yesterday convince you that your story is over. Those marks are not signs of defeat. They are evidence that grace carried you through what others could not survive. They remind you that when your strength failed, His power sustained you. This is not the moment to doubt, it's the moment to rise. When God says, I am opening a new door, no power on earth, no adversary, no delay can keep it shut. He is the author of time, the ruler of seasons, and when He commands a shift, creation itself moves in your favor. The same God who stilled the sea for His prophets, who brought water from stone for His people, will carve a way for you where none existed. The door He is opening won't require pleading or proving. It will open by favor, not effort. It will open because He saw your faith in silence, your worship in waiting, your endurance in obscurity. God is honoring what you didn't abandon. He's elevating you because you stayed faithful through the fire. You believed even when nothing seemed to move, and heaven has recorded that faith. Now God says this is the appointed moment. Yet as the door opens, walk through it with humility. Don't carry bitterness, fear, or regret across the threshold. Release what God has already removed. The pain served its purpose, but it was never meant to define you. What lies behind you has completed its purpose, and what stands before you carries your divine calling. Those who departed were meant to go. The doors that shut were destined to close. The silence you endured was sent to fortify your spirit within. Don't look back longing for things to be different. Look ahead, knowing God was shielding you from what your eyes couldn't perceive. Every ending in your story is the beginning of a new chapter written by His own hand. When He shuts a door, it's not rejection, it's redirection. When He delays, it's not denial, it's preparation. What you call pain, God calls shaping. What you saw as punishment, He was using as positioning. You see, God never wastes pain. He turns it into purpose. The very ground that absorbed your tears will soon yield blessings. The place that held your greatest sorrow will become the stage for your greatest testimony. And now, I ask you, will you believe that your suffering was not in vain? Will you surrender your pain to God and step courageously into this new season? Do not allow fear to chain you to yesterday. Do not permit doubt to steal what God has arranged. When God declares it's time, it truly is time. Don't question the method, just trust the miracle. Your role is obedience, God's role is deliverance. You are standing on the edge of a divine transformation. One act of faith, one prayer of surrender, one whisper of trust can open the door that alters everything. Lift your head, child of God. You have wept long enough. You have carried the burdens of yesterday too long. God is not done with you. He's just getting started. The very things that once broke you will become the testimony that uplifts others. The prayers that seemed unanswered will soon unfold in ways that leave you speechless. The fragments of your heart will form a masterpiece beneath God's restoring touch. Do not resent the season that hurt you. It taught you dependence on Him. It removed false comfort so you could stand upon the solid foundation of faith. Now is your time to rise. Now is your moment to trust again. God is saying, step through the door I've opened. Walk by faith, not by sight. Leave behind the voices that said you'd never make it. Release the guilt that whispered you're unworthy. I've chosen you for such a time as this. Your new door isn't merely about blessing. It's about purpose, destiny, and becoming who God intended before the world wounded you. When you cross that threshold, carry gratitude in your heart, faith in your spirit, and focus in your mind. Don't compare your path to another's. Your journey is distinct. Your calling is holy. The same God who guided you through your valley will lead you into your victory. And when the blessings overflow, remember to give Him glory, for only He could turn your pain into power, your waiting into destiny, your struggle into strength. Let this truth anchor your soul tonight. Your season of suffering is over. You will not weep for the same reasons again. You will not relive the same disappointments. You will not remain bound by the same cycles. The pattern is broken. The curse is lifted. The weight has fallen away. You are entering divine favor, divine peace, divine restoration. The doors before you are blessed. The road ahead is anointed. The future awaiting you radiates with the brilliance of God's goodness. Stand tall, speak life, believe fiercely that this is your moment. God has spoken, and when He speaks, no force can reverse His word. Your tomorrow is brighter than your past. Your new beginning is already unfolding. God has turned the page, and this time you will not just survive, you will soar. You will not be broken. You will be built. You will not wander. You will walk in purpose. So move forward with courage. Step forward with faith. Go forward with fire in your spirit, knowing God Himself walks before you. Every mountain will move. Every barrier will break. Every door designed for you will open at its appointed hour. Your season of suffering has fulfilled its purpose. Your season of divine fulfillment has arrived. Now step boldly through the new door God has opened and never look back.